Hey, how's it going, everyone? So my topic is the religion of technological advancement. You know, it's amazing when you watch TV, the amount of commercials that focus on the sale and acquisition of technology. Computers, smartphones, handheld devices, I mean, you name it, technology is all around us. And its aim is making our lives easier, more efficient, and more economical. But the advent and use of technology has come with some adverse effects as well. I approached a fourth grade class and I asked them this question: how has technology affected your family? And these are the top 5 answers I got. We watch, play, listen, and call on technology, and maybe we do this stuff too much. One student said, it affects my family by the computer freezing up, and my mom gets super mad. Technology has affected my family because we get addicted to it and separates our family. One student actually said, I lost my brother to technology. All he does is play video games in his room, and I never see him anymore. It has made everything easier, but has taken us away from God. Some pretty good insights by these 4th grade students, isn't it? You see, technology cannot simply be reduced to various products that can be purchased. Technology has become a way of life in more ways than we realize. Proverbs 14:15 says, a simple man believes anything, but a prudent man gives thought to his steps. So, you know, when we purchase technology, we do research, right? I mean, if we're going to spend that much money, we just scour the internet or maybe read technology magazines. We look at the cost, evaluate the features, and we compare the products because we want to make an informed, wise decision to really purchase the best available product. But that's typically as far as it goes. Rarely do people think theologically about the effect it will have on our relationship with God and others. You see, people are far more important than stuff, as the 4th graders keenly observed. And so a question to ask is, when we're using this technology, does it bring us together or does it draw us apart? And that's a question that actually the Amish community asked. If you ever see horse-drawn buggies instead of automobiles, the reason why they don't want to use automobiles is because it enables travel to long distances, which could lead to family members moving farther away, and thus impact the closeness that families have with one another. You see, the question, does it draw me closer to God and others, or is it driving me away from God and others, is a very important to ask. Another matter to address is this: God's timetable for doing things is not the same as the world's ways and timing. You see, in a digital world, faster is king. And that's the tagline of new products, isn't it? It's faster. And thus it kind of coincides with the doctrine of technology. Faster is better. I know for me, when I was growing up, it was the days of dial-up connection. You know, you received that disc in the mail, you popped it in, and it was far slower than high-speed connection. Could you imagine if someone's high-speed internet connection was taken away today and they were forced to use dial-up instead? I mean, there's no telling how much stress and craziness it would create. If it's not fast, something is wrong. But God's timetable for doing things is not the same as the world's ways and timing. Jesus said in John chapter 7, verse 6, my time is not yet here. For you, any time will do. Perhaps if Jesus said that in the 1st century, he would say, my time is not here. For you, it must be right away. You see, there's 2 types of time. There's chronos, which is chronological time, and then there's kairos, which is more seasonal time. God tends to operate on kairos time, where we operate in chronos time. I remember going to buy a fruit tree one summer, and the person said, no, you don't want to do this right now. The worst thing you can do is buy and plant a fruit tree in the summer here in Bakersfield because it's really hot. And with God, again, we need to recognize it's a good thing to exercise patience because God's timing is always perfect. It's always in the right season. So God's timetable may not be the same as the world's, but it is far superior. The last thing worth exploring is this: technology should function as a servant and not as a master. Alexander Graham Bell was the first to be awarded a patent for the electronic telephone in March 1876. And the word telephone from the Greek is telephone, which literally means far voice. You see, the simple purpose of the phone is to help people communicate from far away. But the telephone has evolved and developed and progressed to be so much more than that. You see, when people choose a phone nowadays, it's not just to talk with people far away, buy it for the features, camera, and text messaging, and internet, and email. And over the past century, the telephone has gone from communicating to other people to an object of our attention instead. You see, if the use of technology functions merely as a means, then it acts as a useful servant. But if the use of technology ends up becoming the focal point itself, it can quickly become a demanding, unrelenting master. So I suppose what it all comes down to is this. Are we using technology as a means to accomplish worthwhile priorities in life, or has technology become the focal point of our lives instead? And much of our time, energy, and even money is devoted to a modern-day idol that we have set up in our own lives. There are many, many, many things that we need to guard against in our lives. We need to pay attention to that, because if we're not careful, it can gain a grip in our lives. If you ever want to know what are the unhealthy attachments in my life, what are the misplaced priorities in my life, all you have to do is this: be silent and still before the Lord. Pay attention to all the things that come to the surface of your mind, like, I have to do this, or I have to go do that, I can't be here right now, I need to. All these things that are drawing us away from God. The longer we are silent and still before the Creator of the universe, the more apparent those things become. The misplaced priorities and the unhealthy attachments that we have in our life. Now, there's nothing that is more important than God. He and He alone is worthy of our highest devotion, our highest affection, priority, and our highest love. Now, that's not to say that we should just throw away all technology, that's all bad and evil. It's just the way that we use technology. That's really the key. So instead of getting rid of all technology, what we need to do is just be critically and theologically reflective upon its proper place in our life. When the use of technology is more important to us in our relationship with God and with other people, it certainly does not have that proper place in our life. Well, that's all I got. I look forward to connecting with you guys on Monday. Talk to you later. God bless.